Hi everyone, my name is Parul. Welcome to my channel Parul English Lab. In this video, I'll tell you some common grammatical mistakes in English language. So please watch this video till the end because after watching it, you will have more understanding of English language. So let's start our today's video. First sentence is, I'll meet you after the lunch. So what's the mistake in this sentence? So the mistake is the lunch. We don't use an article before lunch, dinner or breakfast. So I'll meet you after the lunch or after the dinner or the breakfast. That's incorrect. Never use an article before breakfast, lunch or dinner. So the correct sentence is I'll meet you after lunch. Next sentence is you like Italian food, isn't it? So could you find the error in this sentence? So the error is isn't it? So these are question tags. I have made a detailed video on question tags. I will mention the link in description box. So we all know that if the statement is positive, then the question tag is negative, and if the statement is negative, then the question tag is positive. And in question tag, we always use the same helping verb that we have in the statement. So first comes the helping verb or an auxiliary verb and then the subject. For example, if you say you don't like pizza, do you? So here in this statement, you don't like pizza, the helping verb is do, and you have to use the same verb in the question tag. So when you say you don't like pizza, so the question tag will be do you, because the statement is negative, so the question tag will be positive. But sometimes we don't have an auxiliary verb in the statement. For example, in simple present tense or simple past tense, like this sentence, you like Italian food. So here we do not have an auxiliary verb because this is in simple present and it's a positive statement. So when I say you like Italian food, so in these kind of sentences, in positive sentences or positive statements in simple present tense and simple past tense, we use the verbs do, does or did. So in simple present tense, we use do or does. With he, she, it, singular third person, we use does, otherwise do in simple present tense, and in simple past tense, we use did. So here, you like Italian food. This is simple present tense and a positive statement. So here, we will use do because with you, we use do, not does. So the question tag will be don't you? You like Italian food, don't you? So why have I used don't you? Because the statement is positive, so we have to use a negative question tag. She goes there every weekend, doesn't she? So here she is the subject, that's why I have used doesn't. Doesn't she? She is very smart, isn't she? So she is very smart. Here the auxiliary verb is. That's why I'm using is the same auxiliary verb in the question tag as well. She is a smart girl, isn't she? We are in Delhi, aren't we? They have done their work, haven't they? So this way we make question tags. If you want to know more about question tags, then please watch the video. Now look at these two sentences. The teacher recommends that she take the training from a certified coach. And the second sentence is the teacher recommends that she takes the training from a certified coach. So which one is correct? You must be thinking that the second one is correct because there we can see the subject and verb conjugation. She takes the training from a certified coach. But the first sentence is correct. Second one is incorrect. I'll tell you why. Generally, when we have these kind of sentences, then we try to conjugate the verb according to the subject. And here in these sentences, the subject is she. That's why you might think that she takes the training from a certified coach. is the correct sentence because she is the third person and this is simple present tense, and in simple present tense with singular third person we use an extra SES or IES with the verb. So she takes should be the correct answer, not she take. But in English language, there are few verbs that have a hidden modal verb in them. For example, command, recommend, order, wish, suggest, insist, demand, etc. So when we use these verbs, then we do not conjugate them with the subject because they have a hidden modal verb in them. Now let's look at some examples. Here we have a sentence, I think he should exercise daily. So here I'm using the verb think. I think he should exercise daily. So should is a modal verb. Now if I use the verb recommend, then I will not use should here because recommend is the verb that has a hidden modal verb in it, that is should. So the correct sentence will be, I recommend that he exercise daily. So in place of using should, he should exercise daily, I am just using he exercise daily, and that's why I'm not writing he exercises daily because we are using recommend and recommend has a modal verb in it. That's why we will not conjugate the verb exercise according to the subject. Let me give you one more example. James thinks that Max must return his money. Now if I replace the verb think with demand, then the correct sentence would be, James demands that Max return his money. So in place of Max should return his money or must return his money, I am just writing Max return his money because must is hidden, because I'm using the verb demand, and demand is the kind of a verb that has a hidden modal verb in it. Let me give you one more example. I believe that the exam should get postponed. Now if I replace believe with insist, then the correct sentence would be, I insist that the exam get postponed. So just keep this thing in mind that whenever you are using these verbs, command, recommend, order, wish, suggest, insist, demand, etc., then you will not conjugate these verbs according to the subject because they have a modal verb hidden in them. Suggest and recommend, these are two tricky verbs, and sometimes people make a lot of mistakes while using these verbs. Just look at these two sentences. I suggest you this dress, or I recommend you this dress. So these sentences are incorrect because you always suggest something or recommend something. So if you want to frame these kind of sentences, then the correct formation is, I suggest this dress to you. You suggest something. I suggest the dress to you. Or I recommend this dress to you. I recommend it to you. So this is the correct way of using suggest and recommend. While making a negative sentence using suggest or recommend, the rule is that you can use a gerund. I have made a video on gerund also. I will mention the link in description box. So gerund is the verb plus ing, base form of the verb and ing. For example, swimming is a gerund, dancing is a gerund. So the verb and ing. So if you want to say, I suggest you don't go there, so this is incorrect. You can use a gerund. I suggest not going there. Don't use don't. You will use not. I suggest not going there. After not, the gerund will come. Go plus ing. I suggest not going there. I recommend not going there. I suggest not parking your car here. I recommend not eating anything after 7 p.m. I suggest not driving so fast. I recommend not doing it. So this way you can make negative sentences also, but don't use don't. Use not and the gerund. Next sentence is, I have a 12 years old son. So what's the mistake in this sentence? So the mistake is S with ear. So here you are not going to use an extra s, that is not required, and that's grammatically incorrect. So I have a 12-year-old son. I have an 80-year-old grandmother or grandparents. I have a 4-year-old daughter. So don't use years. I'm used to reach office early. So what's the mistake in this sentence? So the mistake is when you say I am used to reach office early, or when you say I used to reach office early, then there is a difference. Subject and used to, and subject, then auxiliary verb, and then used to. So there's a difference. We use subject plus used to. I used to go there. So this means that we are talking about the past, that what we used to do in the past. For example, if you say that when we were in school, we used to play cricket. So you are not talking about the present. It has nothing to do with the present. You're talking about the past. When we were in school, we used to play cricket. We used to play football. So here we are describing the past, and we are talking about a routine or anything that we used to do in the past. We used to meet our grandparents every weekend. We used to watch a movie on every Saturday. So this way we use used to, subject, then used to, and then first form of the verb. So this means that we are talking about the past, we are describing the past, not the present. But when you follow this rule, subject, then auxiliary verb is MR, then used to, and then a noun. So that means you're talking about your present habit. For example, I'm used to reaching office early. So here you're talking about your habit, current habit, that right now I have a habit of reaching office early. So that's not a big deal for me. For example, if someone asks you, my God, it's 7:30 and you are in office. How come is that even possible? It's so early. And you say, I'm used to it, or I'm used to reaching office early. So it's not a big deal for me. So this means that you have a habit of this thing. I'm used to getting up early. What time do you get up? I get up at 4:30. It's too early. I'm used to it. I'm used to getting up early. So here if you frame a sentence like this, I'm used to get up early. People do this mistake. I'm used to get up early. So that's incorrect. You have to use a gerund after used to here when you are talking about an activity, when a verb acts like an activity. Okay, so here the verb is acting like an activity. So I'm used to, you're used to what? I'm used to getting up early. I'm used to reaching office early. I'm used to traveling. I can travel every day because I'm used to it. I have a habit of it. I'm used to traveling. So this way you can use I am used to, and when you don't use it with an auxiliary verb, when you simply use subject and then used to, that means you're talking about the past. I have made videos on used to, am used to. I will mention the link in description box. You can watch it in detail. So that's all for today. I hope you understood all the concepts, and these were some common grammatical mistakes that even good English speakers make. So please make sure whenever you are framing a sentence, you don't make these kind of mistakes, and keep practicing. Please like and subscribe to my channel Parul English Lab, and don't forget to press the bell icon for future notification. Thank you. Take care. Have a great day.